Good afternoon. My name is Sean Banerjee, and welcome to Sip Happens. Today we have a very serious opening. With me, for once, is my co-host, Rosaline Gamestein.
Sure, I like it. That was good. That was a weird, awkward introduction, which fits the pattern.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No, just before we started, we were both talking about how caffeinated we are and how like we need to focus. And I was like, "All right, I'm focused." And then that happened. So.
Oh, that's focused, Sean. That's good to know.
Yes, this is what I look like when I'm focused, always. How you doing, Rosie? How's today for you?
Everything's great.
Today.
Oh, thanks. Happy either of those days to you as well.
You look very cozy.
I am cozy. Well, I am cozy because again, well, actually, this is going to air soonish. We've got like a half a foot of snow outside because it snows like through June out here, and we got some. So
well, we're recording this in January, so
lies.
That's all I do every day.
Wow, it's good to know.
Hey, do we have a guest?
Oh, we do. We have a guest today. I feel like this guest is super well known in this world, but we do. Founder of Oh, sorry.
This guest is the reason the show exists.
That's actually really 100% true. Founder of Jasper's Game Day. Wait, what?
This show is a wedding in the Our Story section of the website for the Knot. This guest would be mentioned.
That's fair.
What did they find?
Is founder of the organization Jasper's Game Day, Fenway Jones. Yeah, we got her.
What?
We booked her.
Fenway Jones? Oh man, how much did we have to pay for that? Anyway, Fenway Jones, also Rosie, and I think maybe more known for this, author of one of our wonderful To Survive the Night adventures that came out a little bit ago for GaryCon. She worked on the team.
Yeah, that's definitely the #1 ticket on her name. Like, that's definitely it.
Right. But she did do it, and it was wonderful working with her, and we were very, there we go. No, lift it up. Higher energy. Okay.
Are we drinking any tea today?
We are. But in an actual serious note, before we get to the tea, I do want to mention, because of the nature of what Jasper's Game Day is about, right? There is a content warning for this episode for suicide and mental health. So if that's not something that you can be here for today, we love you, and please come back when we interview somebody else, or come back to this when you're feeling better.
Yeah. Our goal is to focus, as Fenway said in the pre-interview, our goal is to focus on the help that Jasper's Game Day is able to provide. So not on the darker stuff that often comes with it, but again, we're still talking about suicide and mental health, so keep that in mind.
Very cool. So are we drinking a tea today?
Damn, I was going to make you talk about the tea, and somehow you swung it around on me. We are. Another Friday afternoon tea called Double Cream Earl Grey. I know, doesn't it look so pretty?
It's the blue cornflower in there.
So pretty.
Gorgeous.
All right, so this tea is, its saying is... The Earl de la Creme, a staple for those who love their black tea bright and citric, but not too sharp. This Earl Grey runs smoother and sweeter than its classic counterpart for a scrumptious, cozy morning cuppa.
I love it. This tea has, this is obviously a black tea, blue cornflower, bergamot oil, which my uncle, who watches the show, insists that it can't be an Earl Grey without bergamot. Hey, come back to me, Focus. Come back to me. It never works. B-Dave lied to us. It'll fix itself eventually. Blue cornflower,
there we go.
Bergamot oil, natural vanilla and cream flavoring. We are going to steep this for 2 to 4 minutes at a spicy 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Named after Carl Vincent Fahrenheit, inventor of heat.
Did you smell it? I mean, I'm sure you've had to, but
yes, I did smell it. What are your?
Can you smell it on air with me?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did you snort it again? Get out. You're not invited. Fenway and I are going to do this by ourselves. You're not invited to this interview.
Yeah. It didn't go up in there, but like I inhaled too heavily and then it flew into my face. And now it's
All
all
right, let's
over
bring
my
another person onto the show to detract from
It
our
smells
highly
good.
caffeinated. It does smell good. All right, I'm going to bring our guest onto the show here so that, she can take some of the heat off of us. And you're here. Hello,
Hi.
Fenway. Welcome.
Fenway Jones!
Hi, how are you?
Professional.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Now I'm dressed.
Professional is definitely the word we use to describe us.
And you and your snorting black tea.
Listen. Just need to pick me up, all right?
Fenway, welcome to Sip Happens. Tell us a little bit more about you, what you do, and what are you drinking? I saw your really cool Baby Yoda mug that you just held up.
Yeah,
So I want to know what's in it.
Sure. So, like they mentioned, my name is Fenway Jones, and I'm the founder of Jasper's Game Day. We are a suicide prevention and awareness nonprofit organization. We use gaming to raise money for suicide prevention. I'm also a DM's Guild author, like Sean mentioned, and I do lots of different things in the gaming universe.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
And here is something that my mom wanted me to try. It's a chai tea that tastes like pumpkin pie.
Very interesting sounding. I hate pumpkins, but if you like pumpkins,
I love
sure,
pumpkins.
there we go. That's why there's two of us. I love a chai tea though. I would probably try it. How is it? Are you enjoying it so far? We'll get to like
So far,
rating.
yes. It's good. It's good. I'm not a huge tea drinker, but I'm trying it, and it's not terrible.
Is this your like first time drinking tea?
No, but like in the first 5 times, yes.
I'm honored that I get to experience this. This is amazing for me. I grew up in a household where like tea was the default beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So this is amazing to me.
I used to go to tea parties, like a tea house with my grandma, and I always used to get Sprite in my cup because I was like 9 at the time, and so I would always get Sprite and drink it out of teacups.
I like that.
I really want to drink Sprite out of a fancy teacup now.
It's a lot of fun, especially when they put grenadine in it.
Ooh.
Have you ever put a little dash of salt in your Sprite?
No, I haven't.
Try it out. I think it's good. I mean, it's a flavor. But there's no. So like there are other like if you've ever been to like World of Coke or back when they had it at Epcot, like they have those like Coke from around the world where you can like try flavors from other places. And I can't remember where. One of them is basically just salty Sprite, like a little bit of salt in their Sprite, and it's a thing that like I don't know. I tried in college, my experimental phase, and it was delicious. I don't always do it, but sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you may have tried it at Disney Springs because I'm literally 10 minutes away from there right now, and they have a giant Coke World thing here.
Yep. You're like 20 minutes from where I grew up, in Polk County, Florida. We are super excited to have you here. Fenway, would you tell us from your perspective how the show came to be and your part in that?
Can you repeat the question? You broke up a little bit.
Why not? Can you tell us from your perspective how this show, Sip Happens, came to be and your part in that?
I mean, sure. I don't really know.
You put us on a project together. That was really your fault.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it when I put you on the Discord project for Jaspers? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And so I needed Discord volunteers, and Rosie was working with Jaspers at that point in time. She was on our board of directors, and Sean, so lovingly, I don't know, I can't think of it.
Lovingly seems right.
I don't know.
Lovingly
That's not the word I was going for.
In my life, I love you, and I love the work Jaspers does. So lovingly is 100% appropriate.
Fantastic. It's not the word I meant to use, but it works. Volunteered to help with our Discord stuff, and so they were on a project, and now they became friends. I think, maybe. I don't know.
I'm still thinking about it. I'll get back to you all.
Okay, sounds good.
Stabbed me in the heart. Oh,
yep.
Wow.
That's for getting back to the last episode. So take that.
The last
that won't air until July.
Last
episode that no one will see until July.
Again, the St. Happens ARG of figure out what order we recorded these in. Still in full effect.
There's going to be a grand prize. If you can get them all in the right order, grand prize.
Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a
I've got stuff. I've got connections.
I just looked at my notes and it says don't ask stupid questions. And I'm like, all right.
Here we go.
So we're recording this and we're releasing it relatively soon after we record it, which is not something we always get a chance to do. And one of the reasons we're doing that is because there's an event coming up that we want to talk about. So this is April 28th. It is a Wednesday, or I guess it's the Sunday after that. But Fenway, what is coming up? I hear it's called Jaspers Game Week, which is very confusing to me because the organization is called Jaspers Game Day, and now it's a week. It's like more than one day. What's going on?
I'm going to be completely honest. It's actually 11 days long.
That's not what a week is.
I'm aware. It started as a week. It started as 7 days. And then we were like, but we want these people involved and we want those people involved. And so we just kept tacking on days.
Jasper's Game Month. Just go with it. Jasper's Game Month.
Jasper's Game Year.
I mean, that's what we are now. Anyway, Jasper's Game Week, it is our main large event that we run, and we've been running it for the past 3 years. And it starts with 2 days on D&D Beyond. We have 4 games each day, April 30th and May 1st. And then we go to Mini Terrain Domain, or MTD, and they are running 6 days. And there will be 4 games each day, and there are so many different people involved, and there's just a lot going on. And then
we've had Dwight from MTD on. I have no idea if that's aired yet or not, but
it has not.
Cool. But Dwight is
you
amazing.
will.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll all get to meet him.
Yes. And then on the off hours of those 6 days, we have 3 games going on in Australia, being run by Ardent Roleplay. And so the days will be 21 hours long. There will be a 3-hour break in between the Australian games and the MTD games. So, if somebody wants to sleep, not really sure what that is at this point in time, but 3 hours.
3 hours.
That's all you get.
Nope, that's all you get. And then
is that someone new?
Yes.
That's someone who will need sleep. It will be you.
Yes. And then the 3 days, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of May are going to be on a channel called Hearth Singer Games, and we will be running all Pathfinder and Starfinder games. So that's super exciting. And then the day after that, May 11th, is the final day. We have decided that we're not tacking on any more days. Maybe.
We're available on the 12th if you want to do it.
Actually, I am not. I will be on vacation. Go away. So the
11th, we're running a game with Penny Arcade, and they are doing a game of their the new Kickstarter that comes out on the 12th. And the game is actually run completely with a tarot card deck or a playing card deck, and you can do either. So that's super exciting. And the creator of the game is actually running it for some of our ambassadors.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And then the last game there's more. The last game of the stream is one being run by, his name is D&D Corso.
Okay.
He's the creator of Melee Ball. It's a sport that uses Dungeons and Dragons rules, and so we're running that. And then we have a convention going on the 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's called PopCon. And we are running Pathfinder and Starfinder organized play, and then we're working with virtual D&D weekend for AL organized play. And I think that's it. I think.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's not a lot, so I could see if you need to add a few more things in there, it would be
Right.
there'd be time. You said you had 3 hours at night you're getting sleep. Why don't you fill those with things?
I mean, 3 hours is just enough time for a game, right?
That's true. Or a solid nap.
No, I think there should be like a celebrity-only backroom, high stakes. I don't know.
High stakes of what?
So Fenway, you told us all of these things that you're doing, but why are you doing them? Like, obviously, besides to have fun and play D&D or Pathfinder, Starfinder, all those other cool games, but like, why is Jasper's running these?
Sure. Well, so kind of get into a little bit of my background. 4 years ago, I lost 2 friends to suicide within the span of a couple of months. And with that, it's a very hard thing to deal with, especially like in general, but also as someone who didn't have, like, I wasn't really exposed to suicide in any capacity previous to losing my friends. Like, I had known of people, but I didn't know those people, and so I didn't understand the effects of suicide on someone. And so with the grief and the pain and everything that I was dealing with after losing my friends, I decided, with the help of my mentor, Satine Phoenix, and my dad and my family, to create Jasper's Game Day, and that we would use gaming because one of my friends that I lost, his name was Jasper. He was my gaming partner in crime. And so we went to conventions together, and we played every week a game of D&D or Pathfinder. And so, it started as in honor of him.
That is awesome. I mean, not that it's a great cause. And so you are, from insider scoop, you have amazing people who are volunteering their time to be part of Jasper's Game Week, celebrities from across the D&D and other realms. And I've seen auctions on Twitter, so you're auctioning off seats to be at these tables. And then, again, from being part of this, I know that you also collect donations during the actual event. Some really creative DMs make cool things happen. There are giveaways. So you raise money and then donate it to help prevent for suicide prevention in honor of your friend. It's amazing.
Yes. Thank you. During the games, we have Tiltify running. So each game has different Tiltify rewards the viewers can purchase.
Such cool things, by the way.
Yes, they're a lot of fun. I think one of my favorite is there's a donation tier that quite a few of the DMs use, and it's you donate $200 and you can make an ancient legendary dragon of any color that you want appear in the game.
Really throws a curveball into it, right?
Right. And so, it's become tradition in a lot of the games to make a red dragon appear. And it's kind of like a Jasper's World thing that he's named Matthew. And so, a red dragon named Matthew appears in quite a few of our Jasper's games.
I love it. Let chaos reign in all way, shape, and form during Jasper's Game Week.
Absolutely.
Not behind the scenes, though. That is, we like it in the games.
Well-oiled machine. Having been behind the scenes, well-oiled machine.
So fun.
Fenway, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your vulnerability. I know this is a hard topic to talk about. And then I want to thank you for the work that you do, that you and the whole team. I feel honored to have been able to volunteer for you in the past. I'm 100% any time of day you got my number. But as a survivor myself, it just means a lot to me. You also do your own show, right? You have a show about mental health. I say like I don't know that I was on it. It's a little bit more serious than just a smidge more serious than this. But if people want to learn more about the things that you talk about on your show, where can they go and check that out?
So on YouTube, we just go by Jasper's Game Day on YouTube. We've recently we're currently in the process of getting the parts out. But we did an episode on, it kind of changed up just a little bit, but the needs of POCs in mental health arena and in the gaming arena. And then we did an episode on what women need in the gaming and mental health, areas. And I had our good friend Paige Lightman on for the women episode, and so I got a lot of. But yeah, so we talk a lot about what mental health means to my guests, and I had a episode with Matthew Lillard and Dr. Megan from Clinical Role. And they talked about a lot of different like storytelling aspects, DMing aspects. There was just a lot going on, and it's a lot of fun. So you should definitely check it out.
It is a lot of fun. I've watched some of the things you just talked about because some of them aren't released yet, but I have watched. Yeah. I forgot where I was going to go. I just lost track of that train.
It's really hard to lose track of a train. It's a very large moving object. Not hard for Sean to lose track of a train. I would be completely honest with you, Irfan.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Complete sidetrack. And
found it.
And again, a little bit lighter. You're both friends with Paige on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Have you been seeing the pictures of her and Ben and the goats that she's been posting the last few days?
Yes.
She's up at I don't want to say where it is, but she's at a goat farm and like bottle feeding baby goats the day they're born. And I'm like, jealousy.
I feel like that's got to be good for your mental health. Like farm, baby goats, bottle feeding. Seems really good.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really, really happy that both Ben and Paige were able to get their vaccinations and now feel more comfortable going on small trips like this. Because I know the last year has been hard just for them and nobody else. No one else had any issues last year.
Easy, relaxing year, honestly.
Yeah.
Lies. They're lies. It was a long year.
Whatever you say.
I have a question for you, Fenway, that I may be the only person in the world that doesn't know the answer to this. How did you and Satine Phoenix connect, become friends, become mentor-mentee?
So I don't tell this story a lot, and it's weird to me that a lot of people. It's weird to me that a lot of people don't ask this question. I'm like, it's because it's not a story that I tell a lot, but it's not because I don't want to. So I was working with, I'm sure some of you may know Alan Patrick, and he was helping us because my dad was one of the local AAL coordinators when those existed. And he was working with Alan to start, to start working with him for some conventions, and and then we started working with him because we were helping one of our local game stores called Siege to kind of grow and get more things involved. And then he was like, well, I know this person and I think your daughter would really like to get to know her. And that was Satine. And so we set up a call to see how we could work together. And she got me into a game of hers at GameholeCon. And then I signed up for her Patreon, and we've been friends ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had no idea that. So Alan has been on the show, and that has
Former
been
guest. Yeah.
But I consider Alan one of my closest friends, and I had no idea that he was a part of this story, and I'm super excited. And now I'm going to give him shit for not introducing me to Satine. I'm kidding.
That sounds like fun.
He is absolutely lovely.
Yeah. But she's actually the one who kind of helped me write my very first adventure. We spent like 9 months on it. It
Reasonable
was
time frame.
Not like 3 weeks. What did we have? 3, 4 weeks? 4 weeks?
We had 6 weeks.
My mistake. Anyways, keep going. 9 months, first adventure. Good job. Good job.
It was 9 months. I was 14 at the time. So, first adventure, it was a lot. And I actually ended up, it's really funny to me because Satine was like, this is where we're going to write it. And it was in Waterdeep, and it was a CCC, and you're not supposed to write CCCs in Waterdeep. And then the AL people approved it, and we were like, okay.
You say so. Thank you.
It worked.
I was like, that's... Because I didn't know. I wasn't aware of the rules. She didn't really know the rules. And we handed it in, and they were like, sure. And after it was published, my dad goes, you weren't supposed to write there, right? And I was like, what?
Find, replace, Waterdeep, Daggerford. Problem solved. No, that's awesome.
It's written in a bunch of the sectors, so it would actually have a lot more rewriting.
No, just replace Waterdeep with Daggerford and leave everything else as it is.
Daggerford's not on the coast, won't matter. Daggerford doesn't have the same words.
No, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so that was your first adventure, your first, right? I don't know what you've been doing in the last 6 weeks since we wrapped up our GaryCon project, but was to survive the night. Oh man, I'm blanking on the name of yours.
As above, so below.
Yes, as above, so below. Was that your latest one?
Yes.
So how has in the 3 years ish that you've been writing? Yeah. How has your writing process evolved? I know you've worked with a lot of really cool people, Satine Phoenix, me, equal names in the industry.
I'm gonna admit something here. For a year, in between my first adventure and my second one, I kind of my writing process just was obliviated. I didn't have the motivation to write. I didn't have any of that sort of thing. And I kind of just felt like nothing was ever going to be good as my first adventure. And so, I kind of had to rebuild myself back up to the point where I was actually putting time in, thinking about the story, thinking about what was going to happen and how I was going to be able to write this, putting time aside to be able to do it. And so that took a little bit, to build myself back up to that point of actually writing a decent adventure. But it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy the adventures that I write. I really enjoy writing puzzles. I incorporate a puzzle into almost every one of my adventures. But I didn't incorporate one into the as above, so below. But that was because of, it was a little bit of a short timeline.
Yeah. As above, so below came to my desk and Paige's desk as a kind of a last minute thing, and then we were very fortunate that Fenway agreed to work with us for some reason. Much like this show, I have no idea why anybody says yes to me.
Don't scare away our guests.
No, I'd like to point out, Rosie is the one who asked me.
It's almost like that was on purpose.
That's fair.
But yeah, we were so fortunate to have you, and the rest of the team was so amazing. But yeah, that was a really tight timeline, and I do not want to do that again. Unless y'all you want to get the band back together for an encore, let's do it, I guess.
Encore, yes. That short timeline, no.
Fair. Very, very cool. All right. So, what are you doing outside of the RPG? Oh, what is that? It's so cute.
It's a rat. It's a dog rat. It's weird.
Rosie gives me crap for pronouncing Artagan's name wrong from Critical Role. And I maintain that Matthew Mercer is the one that pronounces it wrong. It is definitely Artagan. That longer A at the end. He wouldn't know. He didn't create that character. Pete, man, he can't say sigil. How can I trust anything he says? This is why Matt is never going to talk to me.
Yeah, this is the reason Matt Mercer isn't going to talk to us, because of this small show that like 12 people watch. You're right.
Oh, I took Matt in life. Like he was just going to like. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest. I have watched Critical Role this many times. So
that's fine.
I'm a big fan of the people, but I do not. I watch a lot of the streams that Jaspers does, and that's about it. Because we kind of do. Yeah, time's a thing.
Yeah. Which brings me back to what I was going to say before Artagan showed up. So you are you're also a student and a sister and a daughter and like a friend to other people, I assume. I assume you have a life outside of the RPG sphere that we all kind of have submerged ourselves in.
That's sometimes debatable.
Please tell me that your closest friends are not 30-year-old content creators for RPGs. Please tell me you have friends.
No. I have a few friends. I talk to 4 people besides
quality over quantity. 100%.
Yes.
That's fair.
But it's a good time. I don't really go to school anymore.
Because school ended and you graduated?
Yes.
Cool.
But I graduated before my high school did. I finished all of my high school class my sophomore year. So I've just been taking college classes and the band. I took marching band for a little while. And the only reason I don't currently have my diploma is because I couldn't have graduated and still have participated in marching band. And so we're working on getting my transcripts right now, but I've been doing college classes, figuring that out. A lot of community college classes because I'm doing them from home and online because, pandemic stuff.
Pandemic.
Fenway, you're charismatic, you're creative, you're motivated, you're amazing. Did you have to be so smart too? I finished all my high school classes my sophomore year, and now I'm in college while doing all the rest of this stuff. How smart are you? What is happening over there? Some stuff for other people.
I went. This is a fact that I always like to tell people because I think it's funny. I took my first 3 years of high school English and math, my 7th and 8th grade year, through MSU. So what's
MSU?
Michigan State University.
What I thought.
And yep, yeah, they have a program. They call it GATE. And I can never remember what the whole acronym means, but it's like gifted, academically talented, educational, something like that. I don't know.
It means they really wanted the acronym to be GATE.
Yes.
When we forced the rest.
Yeah. They were like, GATE. What else? Don't care.
Groups, attaining. No, that doesn't make sense. We'll get there.
She did Homeland.
Right. I don't know. It has something to do with, the acronym. I don't know. But the program is called GATE, and I took, it was a Tuesday class for my 7th and 8th grade year. I took each of my high school English and math classes in a semester. So, it was.
So, like, the last time you had, like, a normal, or maybe I should say typical, like, year of American schooling was 6th grade?
I took algebra my 6th grade year.
That is kind of normal some places. We're going to count it.
In some other countries, they have their 6th graders learning algebra. So, yeah.
Oh, no, I meant other places in the U.S. We should not compare our educational system to other countries. We will lose that fight.
Yeah. I was, up until my 5th grade year, I was in the gifted, academically gifted program at my elementary school. And then I transferred to public school. And so public school was 5th and 6th grade, and then they put me back into like academically gifted school.
There's a lot of memes out there that draw the line from, if you were in the gifted program, you have mental health issues now. And I found that to be true of my part. Were you a gifted kid, Rosie?
I was.
That makes sense because you're pretty messed up.
Thank you. I love you. You are one of the few people who can say that to me, and I feel the love as you say it.
Because it's true for me as well.
Right. We've had plenty of conversations about our mental status.
Yes. But we're also in treatment and with professionals.
I have the coolest therapist ever. So, yeah. And I play RPGs, which is like a bonus therapy. Like not therapy, but bonus.
Yeah.
I was about to make a joke about the fact that I'm married to the coolest therapist ever, so you couldn't have. And then I realized that with like HIPAA laws, Elizabeth could straight up be your therapist, and I would have no idea.
My therapist is in Colorado, so just without giving too much away.
Until now.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just letting you know, without giving too much away, my therapist is located in the same state I am.
Yeah, my therapist is also located in the same state I am, and she's, I've bounced around therapists for a little while trying to find the right one, and this therapist, I find it thoroughly entertaining because she just sits there and looks at me until I start talking at the beginning of the session.
I do that in sales meetings to like problem clients sometimes, and that sounds so terrifying in a therapy session.
Yeah, she just looks at me, and I love her because she gives great advice. Like she talks me through stuff and all of that. But like after she asks me how I am, she'll just sit there until I start talking about what I want to start talking about. And I'm like, you can't. That's not how this is supposed to work.
I had a professor in my grad school program who would sit down. So it was like a 90-person class, like row seats. And she'd sit on a stool in the front of class and just go, "How would you like to begin?" But that was like a class, not therapy. Well, kind of like therapy, but not therapy, But that's why I feel like your therapist is like, "So Fenway, how would you like to begin?"
My therapist is like a really gruff, good old boy from Central Florida, but I'm also from Central Florida. But we both live in Atlanta now, and he'll ask me questions and stuff. He doesn't give me a weird silent treatment. He'll be like, "You all right? All right, good." But like he's straight up just been like, "Listen, if you're gonna lie to me, I'm still gonna charge you money. So do what you want." And but he's Brooks, no BS.
Yeah.
Your money,
my therapists were new, so I needed to find a new therapist after with everything was going on with COVID. I needed to find somebody different, and so I just started seeing her this year, and I've been in a lot of therapy in my life, so I'm not the type of person who sits down, like if you're new to therapy, sometimes like you're awkward and you don't know what to say. I sit down and I'm like, let me vomit to you all my trauma, and like I'm just gonna give it to you because I know we're gonna get there anyways. So like, why am I gonna sit there and be like, oh, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I did this to my new therapist, and then I like had other things happened. Like I went through like a little bout of depression, and like my apartment got messy, my office got messy. So she was helping me like come up with just like really basic skills to like get myself organized. And then after last week's session, she's like, now that you're really like starting to, develop patterns and get yourself more organized, we're going to have to revisit all that trauma you shared with me in the beginning, right? And I was like, let me go clean it. Let me go make my room messy again. And we can talk about creating patterns for me to clean again. I don't know. What were you saying?
I just had like a gif of you in my mind, like knocking something off a shelf.
Yeah. cat style. Like,
no, it's messy still.
it's like, I didn't know this was going to be the end result. I don't want this.
And time to switch again. Goodbye.
Oh, she's so wonderful though. She's like, have you read this fantasy? Because we'll like spend a few minutes just like talking about books we've read because that's something we really enjoy. And she'll like tell me fantasy novels she likes, and I'll give her fantasy novels I like. And I'm like, this is a healthy therapist relationship. A little bit of like low key stuff, and then then I cry to you about things. It's great. It's great. Love it.
I'm of the opinion that I'll go ahead and say everyone can benefit from therapy.
Yeah.
There's been stigmas against it for a long time, and more people in my life, at least, are starting to give it a try. Give it a try? Sure. Mm-hmm. I said give it a trout because my brain started to say try and shot at the same time.
Give it a trout. You got to give it a fish. That's how you pay, is you give it a fish.
Right. Nobody knew that.
If you don't make an offering of trout.
Yeah, that's the real trick, everyone. If you haven't tried therapy, bring a trout your first session. Therapists love trout.
It's kind of universal. Like, even if they're allergic to fish, they love trout.
Yeah. Probably ask before you show up if it should be like cooked, alive, like raw. I don't know.
Or bring all three.
Yeah,
bring all three.
Cover your bases.
For higher chances of success.
And then you get the other two for yourself.
Fenway, I don't understand why you don't ask me to give more mental health advice.
Fenway's like, nope, not taking that bait.
Nope, that's not a question I'm going to get into.
No one should ever ask me to do that. I have a degree in theater I barely got, and part of a master's in literature. Please don't. Not a professional. Do not take. Okay.
And also, don't bring trout to your therapy appointment. I mean, I don't know if we have to say that, but like, I'm gonna throw it out there.
I mean, unless your therapist is my wife, and then she'll be really confused, and I'll be really amused by it. And she's not gonna hold it against you. So. Okay. Well, so Fenway, we have talked a little bit in our personal, outside of work friendships. What's next since you graduated from high school 7 years ago?
It was 2, but sure.
Time is an illusion.
I'm working on getting my associate's degree right now, and I'm hopefully going to have it by the end of this year. After that, I'm going to work on, bachelor's, go up to master's, hopefully. I haven't really decided exactly what I want to do with my degree yet. I'm just getting my gen eds done, so I can get all that done and then decide where to go from there. Honestly, I have no idea.
That's a solid place to be. I'm not gonna lie. Like before I went into college going, I'm gonna get an applied mathematics degree, and I'm gonna go work for Google or Yahoo or the NSA, and I'm gonna make this kind of salary because that's adjusted for inflation for the 4 years it's gonna take me to get my degree, and then I'm gonna do this, and then like on the side I'll have enough money that I'll be able to support the arts and do theater. And that was I was like 18. I was engaged to somebody I'm not married to now. And I was like, and then that fell apart so quickly. So quickly, Fenway. There's an amazing world of opportunity in front of everyone. But like those pivotal like transition moments are amazing. And going in, not pigeonholing yourself is a great way to do it. And it sounds like you're like getting your gen eds out of the way at a community college. Like it sounds like you're doing it responsibly. I'm so proud of you, which is weird because I'm not your dad.
Rosie, I think it's just exciting to see, like, I mean, obviously, like all of the work you've done, but just in general, just this concept of like taking it slow, figuring out what you like. I think it's ridiculous as a person who is old. I think it is ridiculous that they expect people, like when you're 18 years old, how in the world's name do you know what you want to do? I wish that somebody had said to me when I was 18, be like, slow your roll. Whatever you think you like now is not going to be what you're going to be doing in 10 years, let alone 20, which it almost is now. And so sorry, just had to have a moment of thinking how many years it's been since I was 18. Oh, that hurts. Anyways, but you know, I think it's great. I think it's awesome, and we can't wait to see what you do. It's going to be amazing, whatever you choose.
Thank you.
What's one piece of non-RPG, non-mental health, and non-educational advice that you would give to our wonderful viewership?
It's like really eliminates a lot of things.
Yeah, like great. I'm taking you out of all the things we've talked about already, things you're known for. What's something that you wish people knew?
I don't know. That's really my whole life. I mean, I have like 3 locations in my life, and those are all 3 of them. I will say, I don't know. I really like to read, so I'd suggest to read more. Drink more tea.
Excellent. Yes.
And buy lots of mugs because I'm a mug collector. I have at least 6 Baby Yoda mugs.
That seems like a good amount.
And I have a very large cabinet that is full of my mugs, and my mom gets mad because I usually buy the ones that aren't dishwasher safe.
Fair, but rough. Do you wash them yourself, though? Fair.
Okay.
No. She's the one that does the dishes. I unload the dishwasher and do like the laundry and like clean other things around the house. She's the one that usually does the dishes.
I don't know that I've met your mom, but I've met your dad, and I didn't assume that you didn't have chores. Yeah. How would you say your parents are? So you're a celebrity in our world, right? Like people know you. You're certainly not living a typical teenage life, right? Maybe I would say. How do your parents deal with like the fact that like, oh yeah, no, I finished my homework and now I have to go be on a meeting because I'm the CEO of a charity?
I don't know. My dad's also on the board of directors. So like, you know, excuse me, he's doesn't really deal poorly with it. My mom is a stay-at-home mom. So like she's also used to it. We're all in the house constantly because my dad works from home. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really think they've known anything different. Because I started when I was 14, and previous to that, I was doing lots of other things. So I don't really think they've known anything different. Plus, they have my brothers to focus on too, because there is a 10-year age gap between me and my the oldest of my younger brothers.
I mean, fair. Makes complete sense to me. I feel bad for your brothers because they're gonna get to like 16 and your parents are gonna be like, I don't understand why you're not done with high school. Why haven't you founded a company yet? Why aren't you on a first name basis with celebrities? Matthew Lillard and Steve Phoenix. That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
That is very cool.
I think my parents would do terrible if I had become famous when I was a teenager. I think I would have been terrible. Also, like super conservative and gross. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I have to be the bad person here.
The bad person.
I have to. No, I said I have to. Yes, it is. We are at that time, so we have to kind of talk. I know you don't like when I do this job, but one of us has to keep us on track because our episodes are supposed to be an hour or so. So
this is my elf face.
Right, it's beautiful. So, can you please tell Fenway about our rating system so that she knows, and we can rate our teas, and she can rate her tea.
Yes.
Thanks.
Fenway. Here on this show, we drink tea. It is a suspension of...
Really? I didn't know.
Not really. Our cups are full of just juice. What is tea but leaf juice? Anyway.
Hot leaf water is what my students call it.
Yeah. I mean, that's an accurate statement. Anyway, we rate our beverages from a scale of 0 stars to 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? Great.
Yes.
0 stars would be bad, would recommend against. This is something that we do not like, and we don't think other people would like it. 1 star is this is fine. I wouldn't order it. I would drink it to be polite, right? 2 is below average. I would drink, but I probably wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this. 3 is good. I would buy this, but it's not necessarily my preferred. 4, so 3 are your like stocking stuffers. Like if they're in a multi-pack with a bunch of 4s and 5s, you're happy the 3s are coming. They weren't what you went to the store for.
Right.
4 is this is great. I will 100% order this again. And then 5 is this is awesome and I must keep it on hand. If I start running low, I'm gonna order more of this. And when I go to order my 5s, I'll probably restock on my 4s. But those can run out. 5s can't run out.
Mm-hmm.
Clear as mud?
Yes.
Great. So while you think about that, Rosie, talk to us about double cream Earl Grey.
So, having just also come off another black tea, this tea, despite the fact that I think in the description it said it was supposed to be a little lighter, it like lingers uncomfortably in my mouth. I don't know if that's a helpful description of the tea, but there's like I think it might be the bergamot oil that like it just sticks and it makes it almost bitter to me. So I'm rating this a 3. It's not bad, but again, and it might be different if we tried this at a different time, but having come off of the other one, which was so much better, which is so good, this one isn't, I don't enjoy it as much. I'm happy I have it, but I'm rocking, I like the other one better for the black teas.
We're going with, what was the number again?
Trace.
3. Sorry. For those watching at home, the other one she's referring to is also a Friday afternoon tea. Sure, it's Doctor's Blend. You can watch our review of that in 4 months. Who knows? Rosie, nope. Fenway, that's which one you are. Fenway, what do you think of your tea? Your 5th cup of tea of all time.
Yeah, well, so I don't know. I'm gonna rate it like a 2.5 because, like I said, not a huge tea drinker. So like, take my ratings with a grain of salt because I'm not versed in the world of tea. It has a little bit of a weird aftertaste. So like, that's a little bit of I enjoyed it, but also at the same time, it had a little bit of a weird aftertaste. And, it was a little more creamy than it was tea-y, I guess. I don't know if that's a fair, but
here it is.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's my rating. 2.5. Because I break everything that I'm part of.
Has it turned you off of tea forever, or are you going to try more tea later?
I will try more. We have actually partnered with Friday Afternoon Tea, so we're going to be giving away gift cards at Jasper's Game Week.
What?
So
in 2 days' time? Well, starting in 2 days' time, Jasper's Game Week?
yes. So definitely
That's
go
awesome.
check her out. And Friday is going to be in one of our games. So that's exciting.
So, like, all the other players can bombard her with, "Hey, how does this word taste?"
Yeah.
Please don't do that to her.
So please don't do that.
I don't know if that would bother her or not. I don't know Friday at all, but that just seems mean.
It does. Sean,
Friday is very sweet. But
Good.
yes, go ahead.
I'm going to ask Sean to rate their tea.
My
their
tea.
opinions.
Yeah. All of our ratings are always subjective. I think that there's an interesting cream flavoring happening, which which certainly makes sense given the description. The natural vanilla and the cream are playing in interesting ways. But I'm such an Earl Grey. Like it's rough for me. I love a good Earl Grey, and I tend to agree that Earl Grey with requires bergamot oil, but I think it's just a little too heavy in here.
Okay, good.
And it leaves like an oily feel in my mouth, and I think that the bergamot oil and the blue corn flour are interacting in a way that I do not like. And I agree with you. There's a bitterness that shows up after, like a minute after, but then as you continue to drink, it like builds. I'm gonna give this tea a 1. I would drink this to be polite, but I don't think I would ever order this. Friday, please know that I love so much of what you do. Please don't hate me.
We
forever.
rated all of Friday Afternoon's other teas 3 or better.
Yes. Yeah.
Although no one knows that because this is coming out before all of the other ones do.
This is coming out first, so they're just going to think we hate Friday.
I will say, Friday has a very... I'm not sure if you're familiar with how she comes up with a lot of her flavors with the lexigustatory synesthesia.
I didn't know the first half of that, the lexigustatory part. So in most of the other episodes, I've mentioned that Friday tastes words, and that's how she comes up with flavors. But I didn't do it this time around, and I'm so glad you did. And also lexigustatory. I have a few friends with synesthesia. She has a
TikTok all about it. She actually told me she did a video on how my name tastes, and it's really cool.
Go check out Friday's TikTok and find out how Fenway's name tastes to her. I've seen some duets with like her and other people who have lexigustatory synesthesia, and like them comparing like, okay, so like this word or this name tastes this way, or, you know. I just recently got a TikTok, and that was like one of the first people that I was like, yes, follow. This is amazing.
All right, my friends, Fenway. If we want to watch, participate, you gave out all the websites. They're popping up all on the side there, but just remind us again, where do we start? Where do we end with Jasper's Game Week so we can follow from one site to the other, please and thank you.
Absolutely. So the full entire schedule with all of the tables and everything like that is on jaspersgameday.com. There's a tab that says cons. You go to Jasper's Game Week and Jasper's Game Week schedule. The channels, you start in April 30th, May 1st on D&D Beyond. May 2nd through May 7th is on Mini-Terrain Domain, and then the Australian hours are on Ardent Roleplay. We have 3 days on Hearthsinger Games, half a day on Penny Arcade, and half a day on D&D Corso's channel. And then we have a convention that is PopCon. It's Paizo Organized Play Convention. The link to go sign up for that is bit.ly/POPCON 2021. And all of the letters are capitalized. And then we're working with Virtual D&D Weekend with Belkin Games.
Awesome. All of that's available in the chat, so click on any of those things. Any money that you donate at all to Jaspers, but during Jaspers Game Week, is going towards suicide prevention and awareness, so all to a great cause. Gaming has helped probably all of us in some way, shape, or form, some more than others, with our mental health, particularly during this year has been a particular challenge. So what a great cause. And go to Jasper's website to learn more. And if people want to learn more about you or follow you, Fenway, where can they do that?
So I am Fenway the Teen DM on Twitter, and then Fenway Jones on Facebook. I do have an Instagram, but it is not used for any of the Jaspers stuff. So if you find that, I'll let you follow me, but it's not interesting. Can I share one fact with y'all before we leave?
As many facts as you would like.
Sure. So I realize this is coming out in a little bit, but the first 3 months of 2021, we donated over $75,000 to charity, and so we're donating $63,000 of that to the American Association of Suicidology, and we have funded 2 different programs. So.
That is amazing.
That's
Congratulations,
awesome.
and thank you so much for doing that, being a part of the fundraising for that. Let's see how much we can push that number through the roof during Jasper's Game Week. Sean, not as cool as Fenway, but please tell us where we can find you on the internet.
Well, you can find me on TikTok. We talked about that already. At Sean Banerjee. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to rent an off-road vehicle in Africa and drive out into the Sahara. Bring fuel and water and food with you because you don't want to die out there. And when you can no longer tell which way the sun rises, you will find me there.
Oh boy.
Or, Twitter, at Sean Banerjee. What about you, Rosie?
I never have a good story like that. I also got a TikTok. I don't use it because I don't know how to, and I am not cool enough, but I have one.
I also have one and do not use it, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out though. I want to figure it out, but it's embarrassing to say I'm blanking on if it's Rosie Games or Rosie Games 22, but one of those 2 things should work. If Rosie Games doesn't work, add the 22 to the end. And you'll see my nothingness that I have posted on there, and get excited for that because there'll be plenty more where that came from.
It is, in fact, Rosie Games.
Great.
And now you have 2 followers.
Wow, I don't even know who the first one is, so excited I am. Beautiful.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You have 1 follower. You're following 1 person.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Fenway, thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you, audience, for watching and hanging out with us as well. Please join as much as you can for Jasper's Game Week coming up. And if you are in the place to be able to donate any money, know it's going to an amazing cause. If not, just having you present, I'm sure, is wonderfully important as well.
Absolutely.
If you're struggling with suicide or mental health, contact information is coming up in the chat right now on how to get help.
Yeah. Please don't hesitate to get help. As we like to say on this show, sip happens.
Sip happens. Close.